Sorry about that. We are almost ready to get into the next series. It's going to be first map, New Gettysburg. Second map.
Sorry, just read that thing and it's just.
Oh. Yeah, I'm really disappointed. Well, yeah, not secrets. Anyway, second map has to be chosen by Nerchio. Just waiting, and then I'll have the order, and that'll be great.
This is the only thing I'm just like, I can't.
I won StarCraft tournaments too. I won a Gold League tournament in 2011.
Oh shit! Did you get money for that?
No, I was supposed to get coaching, which they never actually.
Well, clearly you needed it. It was Gold League.
It was one of the easiest tournaments I've ever won. To be honest, I was like, the secret to my success.
One of the easier tournaments.
I don't know. I get it. Anyways, the key to my success for a long time was that I was
determined.
No, I had ladder anxiety, but I didn't have like team ladder anxiety. So I would play teams and customs all the time, but I would be stuck in the gold rating. So I was definitely diamond when I played in that, but I just hadn't laddered at all. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Second map's Apotheosis. There you go. That's what you're waiting for. So the last map will be Galactic Process. I was like originally, I guess, a little upset that they didn't give me the coaching. I was like actually really looking forward to it because back when you're not masters, when you're diamond and below, you know, you're either the salty masters not that impressive anyway, which is kind of true for some people it's not, or you're the like, oh my god, I'm masters, like, oh my god, what can this person teach me? And I was like more towards the latter, so I was really looking forward to it, and the guy never.
I'm like low masters, high diamond, diagonal grandmasters. So, you know, what can he really teach me?
Yeah. I don't know if anyone else.
Wait, are we just being sexist by assuming it was a he? Because what if it was a she?
It was definitely a guy.
Girls can be grandmaster nowadays.
Well, yeah, but
girls can do coaching. They can vote. It's 2016.
I knew.
Get your head out of your ass, Tommy Grub.
I knew who was supposed to coach me, and it was a guy. Anyway. Didn't you ever like anyone in chat? I remember I also used to play. What was it? It was called OBS, right? It was just an OBS. You would go in and it'd be like 12 people in a lobby, and then people could like put in their chip basically to play, and it'd choose people at random. So you would just OBS the game. It was actually a lot of fun. One of the more used custom games, I guess, arcade games, whatever it was back in 2012. And whenever a masters would join, it was seriously like for you and your friends, like, oh my god, he's gonna totally wreck us every single time.
Well. Last match of this group, but I do want to stress that we have another group coming up after this, guys. I do like that today's going a little bit faster than yesterday, so a little bit more on schedule, but still a bit behind. Next group actually has Beastie Cutie, Laser Strange, and TBD. Now, if you don't know TBD, gotta be one of the most upcoming players next to TBA. It's actually Hate Me who replaced somebody.
Yeah.
But I think Beastie's actually got a Beastie and a Laser stand out to me in that group. I think Strange could maybe shake things up, but either way, I do want to point out that in the, I guess, there's no Terran. There's literally, if Beastie wins, he'll be the only Terran to make it to the playoffs.
Oh, thanks for that. Didn't realize.
With Cass having just getting knocked out.
Right.
Balance, am I right?
Yeah,
hey.
Let's blame Balance for that.
I will always blame Balance for that. Are you kidding me? Alright, I just updated the start time and team look to 45 minutes from now, because we're definitely not starting that one right away.
Yeah, they need
What's
2
up,
minutes
Panic Switch? How you doing in chat, man? Good to see you.
Waiting.
Ah, he caught me. I'm really a console. I'm not a computer. I can't handle 60 FPS.
Oh. You're like a Windows 98 computer. I'm gonna go play like Oregon.
Oh, so I run things better than Windows 7? Is that what you're saying?
Hey, wait, no, Windows 7 was the one that was fine.
No, Windows 7 is garbage.
No, Windows 8 was garbage, right?
Windows 8 is garbage as well.
Windows
I
7
don't
was
like
fine.
I hated Windows 7. I was actually great with XP. XP was my jam.
I agree, XP was the best, but 7 was fine.
Can they just revamp XP? I wouldn't mind them reselling me XP repackaged. I would be okay with that.
Like, 8 was the most terrible one.
8's the most recent one, right? No, 10 is the most recent one.
10 is the most recent one. That
10 is so fucking stupid because how long has the start bar been bugged? When are they gonna fucking fix that?
Yo, I thought that was just me. Oh, shit.
I saw a Dodger and a bunch of other people tweeting about it together. Like, oh man, it's so tilted that you can't press that button sometimes.
Interesting.
Anyways, welcome back.
Yeah.
Game. It is the finals of the group. One last best of 3 for Group C. And that rhymed. If you, we have, of course, another group coming after this, but we'll see who manages to survive and make it out of the group. At the bottom right side, it is none other than the red Zerg player, Nerchio. And sponsored by Red Bull.
In the bottom left, as the blue Zerg, he is DIMAGA. From Deja Vu right here, New Gettysburg. New Gettysburg is where DIMAGA just was. What happened in that game? Oh, he overdroned and just got killed by Nerchio's attack. That's right. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen again. I don't know if DIMAGA, as I said, learned something from the last best of 3. But both games he played last time, in the first series of the day, were not very convincing. Nerchio kind of did, you know, one thing or another, and then DIMAGA crumbled shortly after, basically. A minute or two after, just lost the game straight up.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to DIMAGA, but it really did feel like Nerchio had a handle on that series. And when we talk about group curses, sometimes it's because things are really close and you make jokes, but I don't know that that's really an option here.
No.
Although,
I don't believe in the group curse anymore anyways. It's been too long.
It's almost like it's exclusively our stuff now is what it's becoming. Like, it was this big encompassing thing that affected DreamHack more than anyone else.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Call 911!
Oh, no.
What's the American number for 911?
The, Ting Season 2 had, like, no group curse affected, so that's why I'm really not a non-believer. Okay, well, apparently my voice is dead.
Yeah.
I, like, coughed back up a wheat thin.
Gross! Don't you chew your food?
I thought I did.
What's wrong with you?
Well, it's like the corner of it, too, you know? I can kind of feel it poking in my throat. And we're done. God.
Well, maybe you just need a big strong man to come in and fish it out for you with his tongue.
Ew. No.
That's actually super not sexy to think about at all.
No, it's not.
You could have like Fabio with his 6-pack and everything. You just be like, don't do that.
You know how many people I've talked to who say that their first kiss was terrible because the person just like stuck the tongue right down the throat, like right off the bat. You
gotta play with it a little bit, man. You can't just like shove it in there.
Yeah.
That applies to every orifice too, by the way. Anyways, moving on. Lings on this side of the map, Lings on the other side of the map. Nobody really getting a lot done, but Nerchio getting a little bit less scouting than DIMAGA actually is. He didn't quite get into the main.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Just gonna go ahead and pre-warn the mods. Dear mods, sorry in advance. Ace loot incoming.
So Nerchio has an okay amount of Lings, but DIMAGA's about to have a lot more. And Nerchio is trying to get to a Roach Warren, so that timing... Oh, never mind. I thought DIMAGA might commit more to Lings. Oh. Isn't a lot more. It's not really
Nerchio has a really nice position to take advantage of how few he has. That was kind of cool. And now he's got more coming in from that bridge.
Really?
Reinforces his army, but I think he knows that DIMAGA still got a little too many for him to tango with.
It wasn't that many more. I just assumed that he had a set amount to begin with, but it's 16 to 13. Nerchio wanted to get a kind of freebie, so that's why he's running away. DIMAGA threw down the Roach Warren as well, so he wasn't committing anymore.
No, go back, Same trick. Baits DIMAGA through the mineral line. That's so cool.
Yeah, DIMAGA should just run away. I'm not sure why he's not.
Yeah, like the first time you could argue was like maybe a bit of luck, maybe coincidence, but I love that he just intentionally did that. Like he drew him really far away to do that specifically. That was awesome. Okay, now he's got 11 more roaches on deck. I mean, New Gettysburg is kind of a long map. Yeah, that's the problem. Like DIMAGA's, it's a long map, DIMAGA might actually have units out to defend by the time Nerchio gets here. And if DIMAGA's really on top of
Maybe.
things,
Oh my God.
he chokes off that bridge.
DIMAGA, where are your lings? What are your lings doing?
They're up
for
north
these.
looking. They're looking for Nerchio, who's up north. It's kind of it's understandable. The queen goes down, roaches pop, they get surrounded. This is bad for DIMAGA. Being even down 1 or 2 roaches can be devastating when Nerchio comes in with all of his. He doesn't get that low health Ravager, by the way. Completely jukes out by morphing it in. That's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I think he wanted it, but not able to get it. It is all distracting, though, and killing a queen, killing a roach, it's all pretty important when Nerchio is trying to attack you. And Nerchio has to wait for his own Ravagers, and in doing so, loses that bit of an army supply lead he had. And this isn't going that well, to be honest.
Ends up eating the corrosive biles, whereas DIMAGA moved out of it. That was kind of painful.
Nerchio's not doing so hot.
No.
No. He did dip down quite a lot in army supply, and DIMAGA, this is his chance to counter and win. He really, please do it. Okay, he's gonna do it. Because I was also a little worried he's getting drones now, and that's fine, but while you have the army lead, really pressure Nerchio so that you can get maybe a macro lead behind it. The same thing Nerchio wanted to do, and then unfortunately failed pretty hard in the attack for.
Well, as he comes across the bridge, again, just going back to the point that corrosive biles, a choke on the other side, Nerchio can buy time, but it's almost a bluff. In fact, not almost, it is a bluff. He has to kind of scare DIMAGA to not push through, because Nerchio doesn't have a lot. Anything he throws into that bridge will get killed, but DIMAGA being successfully bluffed, question mark?
Oh, he really wants that Ravager.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Ling's actually doing a great job guarding that bridge entrance. More Lings coming out. Nerchio, though, still down an army.
Oh,
Loses that
Ravager.
Ravager. He's got a spine crawler he's trying to fall back to now.
That's good enough. That's it's like 10 army supply right there. DIMAGA could try and go for the third base, but I think he's well aware of the potential to get surrounded and doesn't want to throw away his army. You know, he's been droning fairly hard. So has Nerchio. They've kind of even out in a lot of regards, but I think Nerchio doesn't have a lair. No, he does not. He goes to the evolution chamber first. DIMAGA gets a lair and will get that speed a lot quicker, but unless he starts +1, might fall behind there. Ooh, Nerchio goes for a double evolution chamber? That's interesting. Usually you only see that if you're going for double upgraded Lings. Huh. Well, DIMAGA does start his +1 missile attack. Nerchio starts his Carapace, and maybe Nerchio will start upgrading his Lings. It'd be very odd to see it so late in the game after there's so many roaches that have been made. But Nerchio is falling behind in that army supplies. He gets more drones. He gets that lair. And DIMAGA, he might start moving and grooving and whatnot when he has the roach speed. If he waits for +1, that'll be too late. Panic Switch donated $5 and says, please use this to download more RAM and become a nice PC instead of a pleb box. That's your problem, Rifkin.
Okay, well, thanks to that, now I can go to downloadmoreram.com. This is a real site, by the way, for those who don't know about it. And I'm going to go install some RAM from download. Thank you, Panic. I'm glad that I can now afford this.
Yeah. 3 roaches is not going to be enough to stop this Ling counter. But it will, you know, give DIMAGA a lot of notice, so... Oh, more armies coming over here. Oh, no. Oh, no. Of course, he had overlords everywhere. He knew this was coming. There we go. DIMAGA is keeping this supply lead for some time, and it was +1 missile for Nerchio. Just took a while to make more roaches. Looked a little suspicious. It's kind of like it's kind of greedy for Nerchio to go for 2 upgrades. I think it's greed in the aspect that he knows he's behind and is trying to get a little bit of an edge somewhere. Sometimes that's a faster base. Sometimes that's you know, maybe changing your tech up, like going for a Spire. But for Nerchio, it's going to be trying to get to double upgrades. I think it's not going to help him, though. It's not helping him right now. It's not going to help him for another minutes, actually, more. As their first upgrades are finishing up for each other, that puts him at even. And DIMAGA, he has a chance to win here. He is 30 army supply up. The upgrades finish at about the same time. Yeah. He is going up a ramp, but...
I mean, Nerchio's engaging better than DIMAGA is. In fact, just look at the stutter step, right? Like, Nerchio's actually getting a whole extra round of hits in, and DIMAGA just can't keep up with that.
Oh,
Even though he's on more supply, he's not using it as effective as Nerchio.
Yeah, he dips down about 30 army supply, but quickly replenishes with more roaches. That's defense advantage right there. He's got nothing else going on. No Ling
wasting
attack.
shots on these Lings. I mean, I'm actually really impressed with Nerchio right now because he is in a spot where he should be losing this game if it was A move versus A move, but it's not. Thanks to the fact that he can control his units really well, he's making the best out of it. He's even taking the low health roaches and turning them into full health ravagers. I love the cost efficiency of all this.
Of course, one of the big problems for DIMAGA here is that he's going up a ramp. Yeah, so whenever Crucible Battles come down, he's the one that has to retreat and take those extra shots, where Nerchio just kind of, you know, stays on that high ground. Now, repositioning, he's on creep, that, you know, helps both of them. It's not too big of a deal. Spine Color should not be able to help out, because I really don't think DIMAGA should be going towards that third. He does get pretty fully surrounded, trying to dodge out of Biomule. And trying to dodge out those Corrosive Vials. It's a pretty decent job splitting, because he can't exactly retreat. And he takes a very good fight, finally. Can't go up that ramp, he can go up this ramp, and now Nerchio has a tough decision to make. Now it's a high ground against him, and his Roachborn could be under fire. Ooh, even if Roach Speed finishes, still losing a Roach Warren would be very bad. This is I think DIMAGA can win here. Initially taking those bad trades, but now taking pretty good ones. Nerchio trying to get that concave going. It's still a 30 army supply lead for DIMAGA. He's rallying through that bridge as well. The upgrades have finished for Nerchio, but it's not enough. He's getting overwhelmed. Dang, DIMAGA.
Oh, DIMAGA. Maybe the curse is a real thing, man.
Oh, shit. We'll see. Thanks to Alaska Winter 923 for donating $3.14.
Did I get pied again? Man, why is the sound not playing for that? This is really dumb zombie rip singing. I guess I'll have to find another sound effect. Maybe it broke?
I guess you do.
Okay, well, thank you very much for the donation, man. We'll get into this next game here pretty quick. After we get into the lobby, though, I gotta run to the bathroom real fast.
Alright.
So, hopefully it won't be too long. Don't worry, Zombie Grub, it's just a number 1. I know you're really curious.
I wasn't. Oh no, not the hiccups. No! Oh, I think I'm good. Okay.
Lobby invite to where?
These all.
Alright, well, anyways, guys, I know there's a lot of StarCraft going on today, and I want to thank you kindly all for joining us here on BaseTradeTV. I know the Gauntlet started up with something just recently. I know Wardy was casting something earlier. I know that there was that WESG thing. It's just like a full day of straight-up StarCraft, so really glad that you guys are willing to pick BaseTradeTV, and thanks for tuning in for it. We're getting a little bit over 3,000 viewers, which feels good, man. But quick reminder that we have a whole nother group we're going through, so hopefully you guys will grab some snacks on that break and come back for more after this series concludes. But there's Apotheosis. I'm going to run to BRB. See you in a minute.
Alright. I'll just chill. Chill, broski, chill. Oh, my back. Like an old person. Oh, DIMAGA. Looking fairly strong that game. Definitely not like the DIMAGA we saw in the first series of the day. I mean, seriously, DIMAGA in the first series was... There wasn't anything really clever going on. You know, it was maybe one opportunity that he had a higher army supply, but it was on a terrible map to try and counterattack. That was not a good idea. Now, last game was the game of someone who could win 2-1. You know, like smart defense, good scouting, good reads on when he could counterattack and how he could counterattack. He's a little more careful as well with that first attack we saw on the bridge. It was good. And Apotheosis is the second map. Funnily enough, this is the same 2 maps that they played, just in different order in the first series, and DIMAGA lost both. So maybe now DIMAGA wins both. All types of bad things happening in this lobby. I was in the player slot, Nerchio was Terran. There we go. Now we're ready to go into what is possibly the last game for this group. As Rifkin said, we're casting another group after this. I do believe last time they had a 10-minute break, so basically after this game, should he win it, expect like a 15-minute break. Always add a little bit, because things take a while. It's really unnerving that I know Rifkin's gone, but his face rig is still blinking. Alrighty then. Stop blinking at me. In the top left, is the blue Zerg. He is DIMAGA. In the bottom right, is the red Zerg. He's a Nerchio. And that's right, Nerchio is down 1. Not just the names, but if you were around for the first series, this is a really big surprise. But DIMAGA did not get lucky, did not get cheesy. He just played a good macro game. And Apotheosis is definitely a macro map, so I don't see anyone going for early pools. So I believe that DIMAGA can do it. It would be quite the upset. You know, we really thought starting off the day that Koss would have the better chance at an upset. He looked really good versus Protoss and just, you know, honest mistakes here and there. Lost in the series 2-1. Didn't look so hot versus DIMAGA. Maybe that was the matchup or not. But DIMAGA just, like, he, like, kind of rolled over in the first ZvZ of the day. And then looked really good versus Terran. And now is looking much better versus Zerg. He's really surprised us, I guess, over the last 4 games. Yeah,
I'm back, baby.
Koss was 2-1. Hello.
So yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but hello.
Great.
Wait, do we do intros? I'm only, a little bit late. Whatever.
I did the intros, yes.
Excellent. So what do you think about DIMAGA winning that game, hey?
Eh? Ooh?
I said hey, not
Hey.
A. This isn't a Canadian
A.
thing.
Do
Don't
you
be
know
racist
how
about it.
Canada spelled its name?
C-A-N-A-D-A. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I kind of went, I guess, over that. Just like, it was a solid macro game, you know? And it was actually impressive from DIMAGA. Good choices, good macro, decent micro, you know, and ended up taking better fights towards the end once you got around that ramp.
That worked.
What?
Did you get a whisper from me just now or no?
No.
Darn. I was trying to find a way to use the Pope emoji without putting in observer chat.
I'm on busy, son.
I
Jeez.
know, I just didn't know maybe it would go through because we're both busy in the same game.
No, I don't think that's ever been a thing.
I don't know. Let's be honest, Blizzard breaks something every patch. Maybe this would have been one of those. There's an alternate universe out there where that worked, okay? That's all I'm saying.
An alternate universe. There's an alternate universe where a lot of things went differently, right?
Yeah, like, you're not a terrible fucking person. And I enjoy
No,
spending
there's
time
a
with you instead of
universe
hating it.
Where you're not a terrible fucking person.
Yeah, it's called this one.
No, you're a terrible person. You know, often you call me a terrible person. I have
Dude.
never called you a terrible person. I've called you a questionable person that says questionable things.
I compliment you plenty on stream.
So you're
and
just,
you
you're
make me
averaging out.
feel terrible about it, thus makes you the terrible person.
I mean,
in
then
that
maybe when someone, you know, doesn't react well to compliments, just stop giving them compliments!
sense. By the way,
You
look
ever
at
think
the
of that?
speed. No, stop. Look at the speed timing. Oh my god. The microsecond similarity to that was really cool, actually. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I actually saw the 4 upgrades in that TVZ. It was more impressive in my opinion.
See, again, here you go. You're just ruining it. Like, I'm trying to be hype about it. I'm trying to change the subject. Zombie, you look goddamn beautiful today. You know that?
Nope.
See? This is exactly what... Yo, people
I really
have...
love the...
People have divorced for less. I'm just saying.
Oh my god, we'll get into that later. Banelings roll in here from Nerchio. This is actually how he won the game in the first place, in the first best of 3. Was he rolled in and DIMAGA had already droned up this was the natural. So instead he took the regular natural, this had no drones to roll into, and Nerchio does not get an easy peasy 10 drone kill to send him into an easy peasy win.
I'm actually glad you brought that. I totally forgot about the fact that DIMAGA had, leapfrogged to that gold so quickly that first time around. So I guess Nerchio, calling him out on his tricks, plays a little bit of an almost bluff, we'll say, because he does come in so blindly with that, but doesn't really get much for it. I like this, though. DIMAGA might be focusing a lot on the gold because of what Nerchio just showed, and maybe this was all part of Nerchio's plan, or maybe this was an awesome follow-up, but he'll sneak into the main, and he should get drone kills with this. And the best part is, with the 2 lings associated with this drop, he's going to be able to pick off the low drones even further.
Yeah. There we go, the lings reveal themselves. A bit of a split went down, ended up not so bad.
Yeah, that was actually not great for Nerchio. It was really good for DIMAGA. The attacking of the gold base is thwarted off once again. Just barely not enough banelings to follow through with this. He's going to look for the ling kills instead, maybe, with that one baneling. there's nowhere for it to go, really, was the sad reality. He actually suicides the drop overlord to scout further attack into the gold base all over the place.
That was not a suicide overlord intentionally. I'm fairly certain, because you can just send a Ling through.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, he saw the Roach Horn, I guess he did get a scout, so it wasn't completely useless, but... Oh, DIMAGA, whoopsie. But I think that was just a mistake. That could have supply blocked him. Luckily, it barely doesn't. The Queen will go down, and the drones, oh my god, they start stacking up against the Lings, but the Banelings roll in. Get 8 drones. How are 8 drones packed into that?
They were stacked up pretty big. The base itself going to go down. What looked like was going to be a failure of several attacks from Nerchio ends up working out really well. Look at the overall drone count. He's up by such a huge worker lead.
Wow.
Downside is he's down an army. It's a bit awkward because the roaches are coming, but +1 melee with a surround will chew through roaches. DIMAGA's roaches are not going to survive this fight. And if Nerchio actually focus fires the cocoons, he won't even have to worry about these Ravagers either.
Yeah, they're going to eventually be able to do that, yeah. This is kind of similar to the last time we played on Apotheosis, except that was even better. DIMAGA still had a 3rd base, even if he didn't have a lot of drones. DIMAGA realized how this is going to go, and GG. Alright, so it's not the complete reversal of that first best of 3, but it is still 1-1. Like, the DIMAGA's not out quite yet, and the last map, I believe, is Galactic Process. Look at that lobby set up, and we'll be going to a break. Thanks for watching those ads. We are into the ace match between these two. It's Galactic Process in the bottom left as the Blue Zerg. He's DIMAGA.
Tried to finish my banana in one bite. It was a mistake. What's that? And in the upper right side, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Red Zerg player reaching for that early pool.
Oh.
It is Nerchio.
They both are, though. Oh man, the dynamic between early pools is so interesting. I think some pro gamers, pro Zerg players will say that the winner is very clear cuts, like, you know, obviously A defeats B, but it relies so much on control and maybe in some cases lucky scouting, depending on the map. You know, you can see your opponent before they see you, like Frost, for instance, you scout differently. But it is going to be roughly the same builds. The gas came down sooner for DIMAGA. A little bit later for Nerchio, but that's the pool timing's a little bit different too. Like, it's very slight, but it comes down to the same thing, which is they're both going to get gas. Now the question is, are they both going to get enough gas for Baneling Nest? Usually the speed is automatic, although not always. We saw the last ZvZ, in fact, that it wasn't. And then Banelings are the other question. But sometimes you can go Banelings and no speed. Is that what Nerchio's going to do? Oh, that's what Nerchio's gonna do. He has no idea that DIMAGA is going for a Speedling opener, by the way. This isn't a response. It just is going to coincidentally work out quite well. He won't have map control, but he'll have that really solid defense once he realizes the situation. And now they both... DIMAGA realized the Lings first. He could have pulled his back if he would want to do something a little bit tricky, but shows his Lings too. Just chase Nerchio's. Nerchio will lose these, definitely. Like, if they don't pull back now, I don't think they can run back before speed finishes. And then they're going the long way. But there's a reason they go the long way. Like, he wants to buy time, too.
So if this is going to be an even game, where there's not a difference of, like, someone having roaches versus Lings, if it is early Ling, Baneling, I feel like Nerchio, from what we've seen so far, and what I would hope to see here in the final game, is going to be the one with the better control. He's proven it so far through the series. And if they're all going to have the same tools to work with, my personal favoritism is going to go Nerchio's way. But it's not all the same tools as a scary thing. That speed makes a huge world of difference.
Oh my god. He realized so last second. That speed kicks in. So, yeah, he can micro a little bit better. He can also threaten counterattacks, where Nerchio, I mean, halfway through the map, I guess he can kind of threaten it, but it's so slow. He's going to run back. He does have Banelings morphing on the ramp, and this will be a pretty perfect defense. He doesn't have to worry about counterattacks anymore. But it's still like, okay, who's the first one to drone? Like, who's the first one to try and get an advantage?
Yeah, and droning isn't even necessarily always the advantage either. It's about who gets the better Baneling hit, who takes a terrible Ling engagement. I mean, it's slow Lings versus speed Lings. It's a huge thing to consider.
Yeah, now that Nation right there only leaves 2 Lings alive for DIMAGA, but slow Lings. Like, at this point, DIMAGA has realized, like, Nerchio, you're not going to go for speed, right? Like, if he does, it's pretty damn late.
Yeah, I mean, for DIMAGA, he never got up to the main to scout. He may be thinking, okay, Nerchio's going roaches behind this, not realizing Nerchio just actually droned and starts to speed a bit later.
I don't know if he's worried about roaches. That'd be a really funny one base all in, but... The hatchery is scouted by this overlord, and you'll also be able to see maybe how much it drones before a queen pops out or comes down the ramp. Well, no, he's a second queen already. Actually, that overlord should probably leave. Yeah, he realizes it. But hatchery versus hatchery. Nerchio is getting speed, but only after everything is settled. And that gives DIMAGA, you know, of course, the map control for now. Nerchio does take quite the drone lead. And that could be a problem, depending on how long this game goes. I don't know. Either one of them could decide, by the way, like an instant to just continue the attack with Bling Ling Ling. But they could also both decide to just go for drones.
Did you ever watch a really terrible cartoon called Drawn Together?
No.
Oh, well, they had like a Pikachu mock-up. It was a really racist and unfortunately terribly insensitive show, but I loved it. And the Pikachu's name was Ling Ling. So every time you're like Ling Ling Ling, I'm just like...
I always think of Scary Movie with the adopted daughter.
Okay, every Scary Movie was pretty terrible, but I did really enjoy the first two.
Yeah, I thought the first two were quite funny, like in a dumb movie type of way, right?
That was also like the era before I really started disliking Anna Faris. I don't know what it is. I have no real good reason for it. I just don't like her.
No. But I also thought I think it was in Scary Movie 5, the one where they made fun of signs, was surprisingly funny too.
This one little Ling gonna sneak around and scout. He's been trying so hard to get up there, but the
There we
Baneling's,
go.
not close enough to finishing.
Yeah.
You'll see that layer time. He sees it finishing too, so it's not even a question of timing.
Right, so you see
it's
it this
great.
fast of a lair, I think you automatically assume it's going to be a Spire.
I forgot we had that really epic Nerchio Snoot series not too long ago for another tournament. I think it was the Intercontinental Qualifiers or whatever. And that was a really sick series out of Nerchio watching him use those mutas. I gotta be honest, like, again, I'm cheering for Nerchio in a lot of different ways, guys, just because I've seen him win more games. But DIMAGA's gonna have a hell of a game if Nerchio can even play half as good as he did versus Snoot when it comes to mutas.
I'm actually really worried for DIMAGA. I'm pretty sure he knows it's a Spire off that lair timing, but since he doesn't already have a Roachwarren, and he's not Ling flooding, which is not really even that great of an option, to be honest, he's not going to be able to stop it from coming. He's just...
By the way,
he puts a Spinecrawler down. He might think it's Roaches, like Roach Speed.
I do not often recommend ZvZs to people, but legitimately Nerchio and Snoot was one of the greatest ZvZs. It was a lot of fun. The VODs are available to everybody, not just subscribers temporarily, so check it out if you missed it, because it was so good.
Yeah. This Spinecrawler might just be in case he's afraid of a Ling flood, I suppose. Like, if he thinks it's Roaches, he's going to be really, really surprised and in a bad position. Mutas are already on the way out, and DIMAGA, I guess he's still putting some extra queens, but... okay, there we go. Sporecrawler's come down now. So he did. Just waiting on that timing, I suppose. Unfortunately, no overload over here, and... Well, with the mutas out, they wouldn't last very long anyway. He's not going to see the rocks broken down. And the deadliness of mutas is kind of matched by the deadliness of Lings running around the ground scurrying once they bring all these rocks. You might think you're fine against the mutas, and you might just be, but Lings get in all three bases, and Roaches have a terrible time trying to catch all of them.
Well, if he gets Infestors out, if he's got the fungal skills to pay the bills, maybe this won't be so bad. But the muta count right now is not that high, and the Spores and the Queens will keep this from getting much done, I want to say, but it won't stop these Lings.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize he didn't have a Roachwarren yet. His upgrades are already so far along. Yeah. Okay, so... The thing is, he doesn't necessarily need Roaches. Like, Ling Floods could take out his Queens, but Nerchio is probably just saying, oh, you probably have Banelings and Lings of your own, or Roaches somewhere, so he's not going to try and Ling Flood too hard. He's going to be more about, you know, these mutas, and then whatever he's doing back at home. And what he's doing back at home is getting Ling upgrades and Infestation Pits, so it should be right up to those Ultras. Which, DIMAGA, if he worries about the mutas too much, might never realize, like, oh, wait a second, he hasn't been growing mutas. Like, what is he doing back at home? And could just be overwhelmed by better tech units. I mean, Infestors can't really help you against Ultras.
Incorrect.
I mean, if they put down the Infested Terran force field. But then, like, for what cause, though? Like, eventually the Ultras just tear down the Infested Terrans. Nothing was helped.
Maybe. Or maybe they mess up trying to run away. Because he's never seen infested Terran walls before.
I
You
mean,
don't know. That's the thing. So you
I could
can't
see-
make presumptuous statements like that.
I could see an Ultra dying because it derps out against vegetarians for sure, but not.
Actually,
not
I
next
just-
5.
I really do miss Betrayus. It's a little bit sad he doesn't play the game anymore, but he really did have some of the sickest ZvZ that would have precisely what we've just described, and it would work more often than not because I feel like it is such a rarity to see. I'm not saying DIMAGA is going to do that, guys, but it would certainly be cool if that ends up being the case. The Infestor is one way or the other. Fungal growths will help cover versus most things prior to Ultras. So lots of leggings like this, fungal growths would be great. Infested Terrans, I don't know what he's got to do. He's got to get something done. A couple transfuses on these queens, keep them alive. Infestors are gone. Nerchio's mutants are not that numerous, but the Lings have a full surround, and DIMAGA is losing out on everything.
He has nothing to defend against this. No, he does. He has
Hey,
Banelings.
Lings.
Oh, thank God.
What? You can do that! Nerchio
Okay.
just- his whole art, the worst part is that wasn't even like a move, right? If there's a move, it would have.
Doesn't matter.
God, GG, yeah. Nerchio still wins, but that was like Nerchio almost like dogpiled on them on purpose.
Yeah, like watch how mighty it can explode. Yo, congratulations to Nerchio, who does end up taking it, even though DIMAGA had at least one really good DvZ in him. He will advance to the round of 8. DIMAGA is unfortunately out. We're gonna go into the next group, but it's gonna start in like probably 15 minutes if it's anything like yesterday. So we're gonna go to an extended break. I want to mention though, like, has like the Pult CSN thing been like re-uploaded lately? This is like the 4th person I've noticed in chat actually bring it up for something that I thought no one would pay attention to.
I don't know, but it may just be that you did bring it up like yesterday or whatever.
I suppose it's a different guy, but it's odd coincidence. But yeah, no, that was not very helpful at all. Just to get that out there. So of course we're gonna take a break with this, so you guys can take a break as well.
Yeah, before you guys go though, to decide whether you want to stay around or not, to let you know the matches that are coming up, it's going to be Beastie Cutie versus a Laser. I think that's going to be a really great TVZ. Strange versus Hate Me. I think that's not going to be that great of a match, if I'm going to be completely blunt. But I think the overall group should be some pretty fun times. So make sure to stick around, dudes.
Yep. All right, that's gonna send us to a break. Thanks for watching. See you in a bit.